There we go. Good evening, everyone. We're back in my vanilla vintage story playthrough. We're going to be working on getting ready to go to the archives. Or, well, not the archives. Good lord. I can talk to it. To go to the desolation. Or devastation. Is it devastation? Devastation. Devastation. There we go. Alright. And it is January in the game, so we don't have too much longer left in winter. We still have some food left. And when we last left off, we'd been exploring, doing some, spelunking and looking for different materials. Because I was considering looking for chromite, and we did eventually find halite. And set up a little marker on our waypoint for the halite. What's up, dear?
Now that you're live.
I am definitely live. It's working on my end. My wife's sitting here watching my stream, kind of helping me moderate chat, and the stream was looking weird on her end. There it goes, yeah. Alright. Now the confusion there is fixed. Yeah, we were working on looking for the chromite, because we were looking on potentially making some, better bags, which, I still hadn't found like a good chromite hit yet. Let's see here. Chromite was at 2% there, 1.7, 4.8, 6. 3, 6, 6.5. I'm just checking my chromite readings. Yeah, so it looks like it was getting stronger down in this area. Which that actually may be worth going investigating some. I'm trying to remember to see here. Let me check something here. Chromium. Chromium ore. Yeah, I don't know if I need iron or steel for that. I think I only need iron for it. But anyways, we'll have to work on that. Because, one, I do want some better backpacks if we're going to be doing this. I had a large hide in my bag that I brought back. Right, so we have 3 hours left on that. Cool. I'm going to go through this large hide in here. Oh, that's right. We also made made some vegetables for the first time last episode. Just emptying out my inventory of things here. There we go. Nope. Somewhere around here I have some string, or at least I did. There we go. That's all I can go in here for now. And then I need to find a place for my bones. I think my bones are filled up. Yeah, I think I'm running out of places to store bones. Yeah, I do seem to be. Yeah, we'll just add them to here for now. Alright, anything else in my inventory I need to sort out? Yep, I need to get rid of this empty crock. How much food do I have left? I have 1 serving, so we need to cook up just a little bit more food. Well, do I need to cook up more food? Still got, like, 3 sealed crocks, so we'll just grab one of those to take with us. There we go. There's our food. We have sticks. We have boards. We have our lantern. I have an extra seed that I don't really need. Got a pickaxe. Got pretty much everything I need. Alright. In that case, let's head on. Okay, put all that there. Oh, right. We'll check the crops real quick. I almost forgot that. Always important to check your crops. Alright. How are the crops looking in here? Looks like most things are just kind of holding steady. As is expected. Oh, wait. Some of this rye is ready. Not ready, not ready. That one is. No, it's not. But these are growing nicely. Anything up here that needs crops planted on it? Yeah, these turnips aren't going to make it up here, I don't think. What about over here? Oh, here we go. This one needed a rye crop. There we go. Alright, perfect. I'll leave the rest of that be for now. And there's a place for our rye right there. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, everything's good there. 1 hour left on that, but I'll be alright. Cool. Let's go look for that chromite. Because I want to find a decent chromite reading. Because we're also going to need sulfur. And I've not seen much in the way of sulfur readings. You know, like a little bit here. But it was like minuscule sulfur. Like, not even worth looking into. Yeah, like out here in the bottom of this ocean, basically. Like nothing over here on this coast. Because that's the other thing we're going to need to make this chromium tanned leather for these sturdy leather bags. Because that's what I'm trying to get. It's sturdy leather backpacks. Because 3 of those would fully replace my 4 leather backpacks and allow me to use the glider during the devastation. So, things to work on. Things to do. You have to put a roof on this part of the road there. Everything looks good there. Okay. Trying to figure out why it wasn't letting me open that. So let me open that one. Now it's letting me open this. Okay, so I still got plenty of boards. Got some arrowheads. Alright. Got a temporal gear extra, just in case. Extra pick. Well, pro pick, extra sword. Do I have 2 extra axes? Yeah, I do have 2 extra axes. Alright. Let's go. Thankfully, this is just a short trip, so we're just going to go over here along this coast because I think the chromite's going to be in this area right here. I'm not sure where we're going to find sulfur because all my hits of sulfur have been minuscule and like underwater. So it's going to be a whole thing to find the sulfur. I do find it interesting that I've been finding alum, though. So alum is used for making dyes and dyeing clothes. Get it aimed like right here. I'll say boat. There we go. That gives kind of a mark to aim for the boat. Alright. Here we are. Just up in this little area here. There. That was not where I wanted to go. Yeah. Alright, that works, so. Let's see here, somewhere around here. Yeah, there's an axe. So I'm going to take this extra axe with me, just in case. There we go. Cool. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to head up this way. And head inland a little bit. What is the rift activity? Rift activity is low right now. Cool. Getting dark though, so let's get our torch or our lantern out. So our highest reading was like here. Yeah, so like right there. So let's start checking like right in this area. You can see what it looks like. Oh, that's a deep hole. Now let's at least let me get a sample. Coming down into here. Alright, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, chromite has gone down, but not untenably so. Alright, so let's do this. The joys of having these rope ladders, you can just pick them back up. So there we go. So we've got our sample there. So we're going to head right up in here where I kind of thought. Let's see if we can't get a better reading on this chromite. Like, we'll check like right in here. Let's see what we get. So I'm going to do this top one here. 1, 2, 3. Do that one there. And we'll do this one down here. Let's see what we get. Yeah, we're back up to 60.3. So that's good. So I think if we head towards this cave right here, we'll be sitting pretty good. We even got a small sulfur reading. Hold on. I think that's our first sulfur reading. Yeah, because we had minuscule sulfur there, minuscule sulfur here. So there might be sulfur over in this area, maybe. That's interesting. We'll have to go back over this way, do a little prospecting. You can hear a wolf up there. But afraid that wolf will find that I'm not a tasty meal if he tries it. Yeah. Try to get my sword out just in case. Alright, so let's come down here. Because there's the cave, and then there's our drifter friends. There we go. Kind of surprised I didn't take a reading at the entrance of this cave. Ooh. Pre-flex. Alright, so let's see here. We'll do 1, 2, 3, and 4. Small caving. And 1 here. Yeah, it's getting slightly better. So it is slightly better. Alright, so I know we don't get chromite in this, but we might find sulfur. But it's unlikely because, you know, we're not getting good readings of sulfur in this. Just seeing what we can find in this. Alright. No. Anyways. So we might find some bismuth or something in here. No. This is where I went looking for the halite dome, so that's why I marked it. Okay, well. Actually, let's go down. I wonder if I go down. Besides drifters. I wonder what the layer beneath the claystone is here. Because we're heading towards this. Chromite was still like 60%, so I know we can't find chromite in this. Although titanium would be nice. In fact, if I do just a node search, do I find anything here? Yeah, bismuth. I'll take some bismuth, just because I don't have any yet in this playthrough. Oh, it got worse. I don't know. Let's see if it gets better over here. No. Okay, is the bismuth up? But it's got to be down? And there's andesite. Bismuth and graphite. Okay. Well, we just have a small cave in then. Let's see here. Okay, one more. Let's do another node search. Nothing. So the bismuth and the graphite's like back this way. Let's do a test right there. Yeah, bismuth, graphite. So is it like further down? Let's do a couple pokes down here. And let's do it down this way. Ah, it's below us. Got it. Also means it's probably off to the side somewhere. This is also the layer in which we'd find chromite, if we find any chromite. Let's do a little node search right here real quick and see what we come up with. Large amounts of bismuth, trace amounts of graphite. So the graphite's probably off to our right somewhere, or left somewhere. As is likely the bismuth. So let's go this way a little bit. Actually, do it like this. I don't like that cracked andesite. That stuff can be all kinds of problems when you're mining. Medium amounts. So yeah, we're moving away from the bismuth, so it's going to be like behind us here. Okay, so let's do a search right here. Medium amounts of bismuth. So, got large amounts down here. Okay. Further down, maybe? No, it was definitely further up. Because we got, like, large amounts, like, right here. One of these had large. Yeah, okay, so it's actually just... Oh, there it is, in front of me. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oh, it's rich, too. See if I can get that out. Alright, cool. This is a rich bismuth vein. I'm gonna knock this one out too, and just see what we get down here. Yep, there's more right there. So I did that. Is there any more below that? Yep, there is. Right there. Look at that. Oh man, this is a very rich bismuth vein. I'm also going to mine out the graphite if I find it. I don't have a use for it, per se. There we go. Man, look at this. So medium chunk, rich chunk. Nice. This is actually my first time getting, or mining bismuth in this playthrough. Okay. Is that it? Let's see if we got it all. Out. Drifter. Bad drifter. That was a naughty drifter. Okay. Small amounts of bismuth still around here. So we'll just knock out a few more blocks here, see what we find. Could be any number of places in here. I mean, it's within 6 blocks of where I took that reading, so... Let's see what we find. I notice bismuth tends to go up and down a lot. Yep, and there it is right there, see? Let's do another sample. Small amounts of bismuth somewhere. There's some. Alright, do another sample. Trace button right there. Right on top of it. I'm willing to bet that's going to be all of it, though. One more sample for fun. Still trace amounts of bismuth somewhere. There it is. That was a very big trace amount, if I'm honest. Let's knock this one out and do a last sample. Still trace amounts of bismuth somewhere here. I mean, it's not really worth me searching for because I don't need it. You know, I'm not going to worry about the bismuth. I do want to find that graphite now. Alright, so that's going to be back this way somewhere. So let's see here. So I've just never seen graphite in the game. Let's do a sample here. Bismuth. Alright, what happened to my graphite reading? Alright. Let's get... I don't have a dirt. That was one of the things I forgot. Okay, that's fine. There we go. The joy of rope ladders. Alright, so let's see here. Actually, you know what I will do? I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to mine towards that chromite reading a little bit. And we'll just take a sample. I don't know what depth chromite occurs at. But I know it occurs in andesite. Going the wrong way. I need to go this direction, actually. Towards my highest chromite reading. Stay in the andesite because slate's kind of useless to me. It's slate, yeah. Let's just do a quick sample here, just for fun. Don't think we're going to find anything. Oh, more bismuth somewhere. Alright, interesting. So, gonna get some food here. There we go. Oh, good, that's my hearty meat stew. Perfect. And yes, I am kind of mining stairs down just to try and stay in the andesite. I feel like it's not going to let me stay in the andesite, is it? The slate is trying to follow me down. Let's see what we get reading-wise now. Still medium bismuth. Not super worried about it. There we go. Alright. Oh, there's the bismuth. Right there. And this is rich, too. You know what this means? Bismuth lanterns. They just make beautiful lanterns. It just does. It's also cool that you can smelt it with just, like, peat. You don't need, like, incredibly high heat sources for it. This is, like, the most bismuth I've had in a playthrough, actually. And here's the thing, I'm spending my winter time looking for chromite just because I can. I don't need to. I have no requirement to find chromite. Let's see here. Yeah, so we've got like a whole bunch of bismuth right there. At 25 units per means every 4 chunks of this is an ingot. So that's 10 ingots almost. So that's 10 ingots in that stack right there. 35 of these. So that's 2 more ingots. So we got like 12 ingots worth of bismuth. Not what I came for, but you know. Cool nonetheless. Alright, so we're going to go over to here. And I'm going to check one thing, because I want to see what depth chromite spawns at. I'm just checking on my Wikipedia app on my phone, because they make a Wikipedia app, well not Wikipedia, but like a wiki app for vintage story that goes on your phone. Alright, that's your chromium. Metal ores. Chromium. Come on. Alright. Okay, can be smelted in crucible, carbon refractory furnace to smelt. Yep, there you go. I want to see. It's like a depth thing here. Ore deposits. Here we go. I think this is the entry I need. All right, give me a second. Regeneration. Yep. Rock layers. Yep. Let's see here. Chromium. gold, graphite, carnite, deep ores. Here we go, chromium. Tool tier required 5. Okay, so I can't even mine this. I need steel anyways. Never mind. So let's see here. So it won't generate above 88, but it will go down all the way to 0. I'm sorry, it won't generate above 44, so I'm not even deep enough for chromite anyways. Alright, so I've been wasting my time chasing this. So what I should do is go make steel. Alright. I'm going to quit chasing my chromium, because I can't even mine it without steel tools anyways. There we go. This is where I need to go. Yep. Cool. So, well, I went the wrong side. Dang it. Where's my exit? Alright, so that's where I mined that out. Okay. This isn't the exit here. No. I'm gonna trap myself in here, haven't I? Oh, there's the layer I need to go up on. Up here. Good lord. No? Oh. It's over here. Easy to get turned around in this place. Well, in that case, with it being the case that I need to go work on making more steel and stuff, or making steel, I guess we'll go work on making steel. That'll be the new goal, which means I need more iron. So that kind of simplifies things a little bit. And gives me a good task to work on in this episode, in this stream here. Work on making steel. Because having steel tools for, you know, the desolation would be fun anyways. Because we need some more refractory bricks. I need some grates. So, I guess I'll walk you all through making a cementation furnace. Now, you can make them out of just regular old fire bricks in the game, but you're going to be replacing them pretty often. I'm going to be making mine out of refractory bricks. Well, I mean, you can make them out of regular old refractory bricks, but I'm going to be making mine out of, like, tier 2 refractory bricks. At least that's the goal. Alright, and not sure what I'm going to do with all this stone that I have left over. But, you know, figure it out. There we go. Get me back out. Oh, good. We're not stuck. Beautiful. Alright, well, let's head home, and we'll work on making more refractory bricks and a cementation furnace. It's one of the things I discovered as I was looking at the wiki entry for the chromite is you have to have tier 5 tools. That means steel, because these are only tier 4 for iron. So, there we go. You live and learn, right? Need that spot. But hey, we can make a really pretty lantern now. But everyone having a good day so far? I am. Well, had a pretty good day. My kiddo was sick. But he's gotten better now, which is good. So he wasn't having a good day. You think he was having some sort of, like, sinus issue. Because it seemed like he was having a lot of drainage or something. But he's feeling better now, which is good. And now here I am on stream. Coming back from our journey chasing chromite. Only to realize I can't even mine the chromite if I find the chromite. But we're going to pull back into here. There we go. Up out there. Take our load of ores and stones and all back over here. We'll just throw the slate in here. Oh, there ain't no space in there. Here, I'll take the bauxite with me, because I can. I'll need that for making the refractory bricks anyways. So for those of you just joining, this is my vanilla playthrough, where I'm working on doing the story missions, and going through all the story content. And it's winter time, so we're kind of doing a bunch of prep work as we wait for winter to pass, so we can travel to our next story location. And at the moment, we're working on making some refractory bricks, because I'm going to build a cementation furnace. Wind's blowing nicely tonight. Or today, in game. So if we're going to make some steel, we're going to need more iron here in the near future. But first we'll build the furnace. So let's get in here. And let's take a look and see what we need to make refractory bricks after I put away all this stuff. So put the bismuth in there. That's my galena. I'll take the quartz chunk, because I am going to need the quartz. And the clear quartz. I'm going to need all that. I have silver. And some silver nuggets there. And silver ingot. So I could make a really nice bismuth bronze lantern. Alright, so let's see here. To make the fire clay into refractory, tier 2 refractory bricks, it's fire clay, crushed quartz, bauxite. So we've got 20 fire clay. So there's 10 and 10. We are out of crushed quartz, it looks like. There's our bauxite. There's our olivine. Cool. So, yeah. So let's drop off some stuff in here real quick. So we just need 3 empty things here. Leave the olivine in here for now. And we'll take... Oh, I do have some bismuth. Okay. We'll put the andesite in here for a moment. There we go. Alright. Cool. So we'll take these, and we'll go crush up this quartz to get the crushed quartz we need. And what we'll do is I'll offload some of my tools here. Like, I don't need the pick right now. Either one. Yeah. And I'll put away this resin, because I don't need it right now. What's this? There's my calcified flint. That's good. So I've got calcified flint. Fantastic. I need to find where I'm throwing my bauxite, though. think I have a chest for bauxite. Yep, there's my bauxite. We're just going to throw both of those in there for now. There's some of my andesite in there. There we go. And, oh, not in there. Yep, over here. This is where I'm storing the extra flax. So we're going to need to crush that. We'll crush up the bauxite as well. Alright, this we can put away. We'll just put it right here. There we go. Alright, so that'll save us a little bit of inventory space to make these refractory bricks. Cool. Alright. Let's get upstairs here. And we're going to turn on probably my favorite powered machine here. The pulverizer. Love this thing. Alright. We're just going to crush up this stuff. There we go. Cool. And there's our crushed up quartz. And then we'll crush up this bauxite. There we go. I love the pulverizer. It's one of my favorite, like, mechanical tools in this game. I just like the little sound it makes. There we go. I can turn that right off real quick. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to go crush up this olivine too. Just go ahead and get that done. So we can make up as much of these refractory bricks as we can. Then we have to make some mortar, I think, too. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. So let's see what we can do here. So now, I should have enough to do 12 units of refractory bricks here. So if we take this, do half and half, and 12, and 12, and 12, and there we go. That should give me 12 refractory bricks. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright. I should be able to put all of these. Yep, there we go. Cool, we're almost there. Alright. Then I just need a bit of fuel for it. So here, conglomerate, dry grass, charcoal. Shoot, I'll just grab 2 pieces of or 4 pieces of firewood. That's why I have a tree farm. There we go. So I'm out of olivine now, and out of quartz. So let's grab our pick, and let's go see if we can't get some more olivine and quartz. I know where the quartz is. Quartz is just down the road. Let's go get the quartz. It's quite literally over there next to the trader that we sailed past. So we'll go to his place, grab some quartz. That'll get us the quartz we need. Because at a minimum, to make refractory bricks, you need bauxite and crushed quartz. I have bauxite coming out my ears, and I have easy access to quartz. For these tier 2 ones, though, we need olivine, and that's going to be the sticking point. Now, I found a place where I found some. It's not too far away, so we'll probably go hit that after we get us some crushed quartz here. Oh, that deer was freaking me out because that deer was hopping weird. Alright. Now, my quartz mine should be right over here. Yeah, it should be like right down in here. There it is. Mm-hmm. Let's actually put this in my offhand so I can actually see. And this is what I do. I'm just strip mining out this quartz, basically. Unfortunately, this one has not been very profitable as far as, like, you know, silver and gold go. Because sometimes you find that in quartz veins. Okay, I was going to say, I think it goes further. And it does. All right. Yeah, that's the other side. This is the other place where I access my quartz, or have mined from. So we're just going to keep going here. Okay, got that one. The good thing about andesite is it's fairly structurally sound, so you can actually mine out a fairly wide area of it and still be pretty good. Because notice that's only 16% chance of collapse right there. There we go. We'll get enough quartz for our needs here pretty quick. And then we have to find another source of olivine. I mean, we'll go check the area I was mining it, because I imagine if there was some there, there'll be some more there, so. But everybody having a good night out there? Hope y'all are. Welcome to the stream. We're working on making some refractory bricks to make some steel. Long term, anyways. That's the goal here. So how are we doing? We got 43.6. Cool. And I ran out of olivine and quartz for making the refractory bricks. So we're mining some here. And I'm doing all this because I was chasing a chromite reading in my other little kind of mining area that I've been playing with recently. I was like, yeah, I'll get some chromite, I'll make some chromium tanned leather to make some sturdy leather, backpacks. And I was like trying to mine around and poke around for it. It dawned on me, you need steel tools to mine chromite. So I was like, wait a minute. You know, so I was like, well, if I'm gonna need steel tools anyways to get the sturdy leather backpacks, might as well work on making steel tools. There we go. And I'm sorry if y'all can hear that helicopter flying overhead. I think it's loud. There we go. Getting a good amount of quartz, though. This has been a great little quartz mining spot. Unfortunately, it has had almost, like, 0 silver and gold in it, though. Because that's where you normally find silver and gold in this game, by the way, is inside of quartz veins like this. And I do have to be careful, because there are some caves in here that I've mined into, and they are not friendly. Let's see here. So that's 2 full stacks almost of quartz. Should have mined on this one first. Up here, just in case it went back up on me. There we go. I'm gonna have to make another iron pick soon. Or actually start using my meteoric iron pick. I haven't decided yet. It's so pretty, I don't want to use it. Hey, Botorn. How you doing? Yep. There we go. Oh, sure too. Don't remember inviting you to this party. There you go. Yep, we'll take all that. Because why not? Alright. Yeah, I've mined into this place a couple times. You can actually see where I mined in last time over there behind that dirt pile. There we go. Alright. Have I actually explored this place? I don't think I have. Oh, hello. Deep shiver. Bad shiver. There we go. Come in here a little bit. Just poke around. Abort another Botorn over there. Down here. Anything down here? Nope. But you know what we can do? We'll just do a quick little node check. See if there's anything of interest in here. Nope. Nothing nearby there. Good, he missed. Come here, Botorn. Don't start a fight if you don't want to finish it. Why did I get hurt? Oh, I'm starving. That's why I got hurt. I'm like, what's going on? It didn't hit me. I didn't eat. There we go. Alright. Ooh, we got rusty gears. Yes, please. That means there's a ruin nearby. Probably right down there, too, I bet. So I should... Nope. Hello. Nope. Bad drifter. We probably have a ruin down here. I'm going to mark that. Ruin. Save. There we go. So I know that there's like a ruin under that. Everywhere. There we go. Hello, Shiver. There we go. Sorry. Stuttered over my own words there because I had a shiver coming running at me. Took me a second to process what I need to do with my fingers. Yeah, I'm here, good Botorn. Where you going? Oh, you're still alive. Okay. Take the arrows. There we go. Alright. Anything in here? Nothing. Didn't think so. I mean, we're not very deep, so I wouldn't imagine to see like a whole bunch of stuff. Alright. Yes, come on. If you insist. Really? Okay. Come on. Right weapon, please. Bad. They're very active over here, you notice? Alright. That one kind of jumped kind of high when I killed him. Alright. We done? I'm going to check over here real quick, just to make sure I haven't missed anything interesting on this side, besides the giant hole in the ground. Okay. Back to my mining. The whole reason I came in here. Get this quartz. Alright, let's grab this quartz. We'll finish up our little trip in here. And then we'll go on and go get the olivine that we need to make our refractory bricks. Yeah, you can see like that has a 50% chance of breaking off there, so we're going to go ahead and pull that out of there. Yeah, this is where I actually mined into here before. On this side. Really, Boatworn? I can hear him over there. Trying to make a fuss. Where'd you go? There you are. There. Oh, I'll take all that, though. Free flex is free flex. There we go. A little bit more of this. How am I doing? I got like almost 2 full stacks. Or 3 full stacks, I mean. Including the clear quartz. Alright. There we go. Let's get a little bit more here. Knock this one out too. We're at it. There we go. Alright. I think that's all the quartz I'm going to mine from this side of things. Now, I don't have any way of really plugging this hole right now. That's okay. So what we'll do is we'll come back here and I'll just mine out this lower layer of quartz I walked over to get in there. Then we'll go back to base. Drop off some of this andesite. And then we'll grab some support beams and we'll go get some olivine. But I'm gonna need I'm gonna need support beams for all the olivine. The stone it's in is not particularly a sturdy stone. There we go. Alright, that's plenty of crushed quartz for now. Go, we can just go out this way. Let's take us right out. And there's some, right over there. But everyone having a good night right there? It's night for me, whatever time it is for you all. I hope you're all having a good day. And feel free to talk and chat. We're working on making a cementation furnace, because we're going to make some blister steel. At least that's the goal. Hear that goat. Thought I heard something singing up on my character there. We've never actually made blister steel in this game. So that's going to be a new thing for me. But I did go ahead and set up a place to put the furnace. Which, oh. Yeah, this is my single player file. And welcome, David Schaffler. David Schaffler? Yeah, I think I'm saying that right. Tell me if I'm saying that right. But yeah, welcome to the stream, man. This is my single player vanilla. I'm working my way through winter. And as part of that, I'm making some steel tools and stuff, or at least I'm going to. There's actually my next round of refractory bricks going, and I have these right here already. And once winter's over, we're going to go to the desolation of that part of the story. But yeah, this is my single player game. I was on the server last night for my multiplayer server, doing some streaming there, hanging out, you know. Davik. Okay, am I saying that right now? Word. You've been itching to play this with your friends? You're busy with work. I understand, man. It's hard to get everybody on. Like, we're trying to build a village in my multiplayer server that we're running, and we've kind of got one started. Like, where a couple of us have kind of set up shop near each other, myself included. But we want to build kind of like a central market square near spawn, where players spawn in at when they initially join. And it's just getting everything coordinated and all. It's tough, because we all got lives and kids and day jobs and everything, so it's a whole thing. So I get it. I totally get it. Alright, where's my saw? There's my saw. That's my good saw. I don't want to use that one. That one back. I want to use that saw. There we go. Alright. Not currently. Currently it's a vanilla server, but we are discussing some mods that we're thinking about adding, just to make life easier for certain things. You know what? This one can go here. There we go. I just need somewhere to dump all these andesite stones. Yeah, like we've been discussing adding the footprints mod for tracking animals. We've also been discussing adding the betterer, I know that's not actually the correct way of saying that word, prospecting mod. That's the way the mod author entitled it, which, you know what, I'm fine with. Just because we're about to go crazy looking for iron in the server. Like, we are just struggling to find any sort of iron. Like, I think the best reading I've gotten is like a poor like 2.35 or something like that. It's just awful. And like, I can't figure out the pattern of the heat map for that particular heat map of iron, because it's like on the super like narrow band, and it kind of goes up in like little random spots around it, but then goes immediately back down. It's very strange. I was discussing it with the other people on the server earlier today. Hey Thrak here, how's it going? So it's one of those things of like, learning to prospect in this game is a whole art form. I've actually gotten pretty good at it, which is why it was frustrating me that I was about to drive myself nuts with that iron prospecting. Because normally, I don't... Like, the first time I tried prospecting, yeah, it was tough. But after a few hours and reading, like, how it works on a mechanical level, I really kind of got a feel for it. And now I'm actually fairly decent at it, in my opinion. You know, feel free to tell me if y'all think I'm wrong, but I think I'm pretty good at it. But on our server, I don't know what's up with that spawn. The iron is just not happening. Like, and I'm not the only one. Like, several of us are struggling with it for some reason on that server with the iron. I've found lots of other things. I've found copper. I have found tin. Like, that is the most tin I've seen in a playthrough, I think. Like, on that server. But iron, the iron's teasing me and taunting me. So, yeah, but no, when you first are learning to prospect in Vintage Story, it's a whole learning curve. Okay, good. Yeah, okay, this is the hammer I want to use. For the second part, use prospecting near the surface copper. Okay, so here's the thing about surface copper. Surface copper does not respect the heat map of the prospecting. Just as a heads up there, track here. When you're doing the surface copper, basically what you'll do is you'll dig down, mine out what you can find, and then you'll use the node search to make sure you've gotten it all. And that's basically it. Once you've done that, assume that there's no more copper in that area. Now, you'll still want to do your prospecting, like do the break 3, just to see what the heat map for that area looks like, because you may find it may be good for like iron, so that you may just need to dig down like, 40 or so blocks to find an iron node. You never know. But the surface copper does not respect the heat map. So don't use that as a, oh, I found surface copper here, there's probably going to be copper here, because the answer is probably no, there isn't. So just something to be aware of. Yeah, I know. This is my home. But no, I don't use this as like my home. This is like just my out. This is my shop area, effectively. And yeah, I'm aware that it doesn't recognize it as indoors. Yeah. Eventually I'm going to fully daub it in. Because, until you cover it over with daub, yeah, you're right, it doesn't see it as walls. Well, no, so let me better explain myself right here. The surface bits do mean that there is a node below you, like 2 or 3 blocks down. But I'm saying, like, don't necessarily expect there to be a deep vein of copper there. Meaning, like, if you dug down, say, another 20 or 30 blocks, don't expect there to be any more copper in that area. Does that make sense? Like, when you see those surface nuggets, yeah, you'll probably find somewhere between, like, 10 and 30 blocks of copper below that in the top 5 layers. But when you're using the prospecting pick, don't necessarily expect that you're going to get a good reading for copper in that area. This is what I was trying to explain. Alright, so I've got my quartz. Now I need olivine. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and sleep through the night. So this is my actual bedroom here. This is where I actually live. Yeah, I'm gonna warn you, strip mining in this game is not a good idea. I've never found a bountiful quantity of iron. Matter of fact, in this playthrough, I've had to deal with a poor vein of iron, which I've completely mined out for the most part. Like there might be a few blocks in there that I've missed, but I'm not gonna stress over those few blocks I've missed. And that's because I was dealing with magnetite. Like hematite tends to be bountiful or rich. I've yet to find hematite. So it was actually over here. It was my mine. And it's magnetite. But I'm gonna start looking for another source of iron at some point. Because I'm running low, and if I'm gonna make steel, I'm gonna need more iron anyways. So, it's gonna be a whole thing. There's zinc over there. But where I'm gonna go for my olivine is it? I just like the look of the realistic map because it also helps you tell like what type of biome you're looking at. Yeah, so there's my olivine down there where I found olivine. Which is kind of my next stop here in a minute. I just really like the look of the realistic map. Now, on my server, I actually am using the... No, on my server I'm using this. On my Snowball Earth playthrough, that is another series I'm running, that is modded, I did limit myself to the medieval style map. As a more of a challenge, but still needing a map. Kind of a deal. Alright, what was I going to do? Right, I was going to sleep through the night real quick. And then we'll head out in the morning to go look for olivine. So, like, I've used both maps, and there's certain things I like about the medieval map, and there's certain things I like about the, Yeah, no, I do think you're probably right. It is probably easier to spot the meteoric iron impacts with the medieval map. That is probably true. And the Racker is also right. The game is hard. Like, I understand. Um, but, you know, I can play it with either one, because it doesn't really bother me too much. This over here. Put those in there. There we go. Free up a little bit more inventory space here. There we go. God, I love crates in this game. Yeah. Hello, Temporal Rift. Oh, great. We have high rift activity today. Just what I wanted. Oh, right. I need to go start my next round of leather. Good lord. I about left the house without doing my maintenance stuff. Alright, let me grab my hide. Let's grab this. Seal that up. Hey, Samantha Wooten. Welcome back. Yeah, the colorful map, it's just so handy. Go. Alright, and... Okay, so let's see here. Which ones we want to do first here? So I have these medium prepared hides. How much? I've got 22. So 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So we'll do that. There we go. This in here. I'll just do these 2 huge hides. There we go. Do that. What's that? Oh, it's weak tannin. I wondered. So you're why thing no work? Weak tannin. That's why it's not working. Yep. Hates having stop what he's doing to deal with the monsters. Yeah, so it's very mixed on like how people feel about the monsters. Like on my multiplayer server, we've been discussing it, and we're kind of split because Thrakier there's actually a member of my multiplayer server. And he's struggling with the monsters, which I get. But like other members, like Father, who plays on my server, he likes fighting the monsters, even if they do sometimes stop us from doing construction work and things like that. I'm kind of a mixed opinion about it. Like if I get in a flow. Oh yeah. Oh, you have it where they drop other stuff. Yeah. So in before I started doing any streams of this on YouTube or anything, when I was just learning to play the game, and after I did kind of my first big solo run in a vanilla world, I started doing a modded solo run as I was experimenting with mods. And yeah, I used a mod that makes it so they drop things like copper bits and stuff. And yeah, then fighting the mobs was a lot of fun because it was profitable. So I totally understand. But yeah, I've also been thinking about at some point just trying my hand at building a mob farm. I've seen some examples of them. Because you can set up a pretty good little mob farm if you can find like a lava flow to get yourself like all the temporal gears you can shake a stick at. Though if you're running the story content like I am, you'll get tons of temporal gears anyways. I'm sitting here watching my wife try to use her computer while the cat is sitting on her keyboard, basically. Being very insistent that mom is not allowed to use her computer. Yeah, I brought food. I brought 5 servings of, you know, hefty stew. Yeah, no, they can be very annoying when they're interrupting your flow there, Cracker. I fully agree on that. Because even I was getting frustrated when I was trying to do some work on the multiplayer server with them. Yeah, I discussed turning down temporal rips on the multiplayer server. Because I don't want the monsters gone. Like, I want them still being, like, the caves and stuff. But I wouldn't mind just, like, turning off the rift activity for the multiplayer server. Or even just turning off surface spawns. Because there's actually a mod out there that does that. It disables surface spawns while keeping all the, like, temporal instability and rift stuff and activity down underground in the caves and whatnot. I thought about doing that on the multiplayer server. Thought that'd be maybe a good middle ground. But I haven't discussed it with the guys yet. Or, well, not just guys, but the community yet. I know our next major server, or the next big server, will be heavily modded. Like, I might replace, you know, the drifters and stuff with fantasy monsters instead. Because they're accurate. I'm sure you could do fine fighting goblins and orcs and stuff. Because there's a mod for that. I'm actually running on my Snowball Earth playthrough. Or even skeletons. You'd probably find fighting skeletons. Yeah, I think there was actually a mod that does specifically replace the shivers and the skeletons, or the shivers and the locusts. Yeah, you're not the only person that has arachnophobia problems. Talking about arachnophobia problems, though, Tracker, you and I used to play a bunch of. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure I've seen some mods that do that, though. I'm sure I've seen it discussed and talked about. I use on my Snowball Earth playthrough. I'm using the fantasy creatures mod is what I'm using, and it adds like orcs and goblins and stuff. The creature spawns. Actually, I'm gonna pull off here and grab a tree real quick. So, started sailing south, and I forgot to grab lumber and a hammer. You know what? Hold on. I completely forgot to grab support posts. There we go. Do I have a hammer in my boat? Yeah, into the water during winter. Great. There we go. Alright. Hammer? Axe? Knife? Nope. Of course, I don't have a hammer. I set this to 30% oceans. Now, this was before the first major update, after they added the oceans. So this was like either 1.19 or 1.2 when I generated this world. It was before 1.21. But I used 30% oceans to get this level of ocean. Yeah. Oh, there's some onions over here, which I'm going to grab because I can. Don't expect to see onions just ready for harvest in the middle of winter. What are you doing over there, dear? My wife is losing a fight with some sort of computer device next to me. But yeah, 30% oceans is usually what I use to get oceans this size. So that's 70% landmass, 30% ocean. Yeah. Alright, it's got me 16. Let me grab one more tree. Okay. kind of mushrooms are these? Are these all funeral bells? This is all funeral bells. This is like the tree of death. This is like the tree. I mean, I love the smithing in this game. Right here, I'm totally right there with you. I love how they did the smithing in this. I'm curious if I cut down the tree if it's going to drop down all the mushrooms. I'm going to find out. I've never done this before. Huh, it sure does. Okay, Thracker, just so you know, when you're out harvesting mushrooms, do not eat the funeral bells. That is minus 40 hit points per funeral bell. Just so you know. And considering your average person only has 20 in this game, that is 2 times the amount needed to kill you. Yeah, in one bite, instant death, exactly. So I've heard on some multiplayer servers where, like, you know, resources aren't necessarily shared. Because on my server, like, it's shared. Like, if you need food, you can come to my character's house and just have food or whatever. But on some servers where it's not shared, I've heard of people doing things where they get tired of food thieves, so they'll throw like a funeral bell in like the stew and just leave it out on the shelf to discourage thieves. Come on, game. Out of the thing. How did we find the lunch thief? We killed him. Goodness. Come on. Really? Shit. Alright, now can I get out? That's one problem with sailing in winter. Where is it? It's this one, isn't it? There you go. Alright. Nope. I want in the seat, please. There we go. Now we're free. I gotta head back to base, and I just realized I forgot something very important. So, it does look like, God, I can never pronounce that word right. Carve? Yeah, carve. It's very similar. They call it the sailboat. One of the things I want to see them add is another couple boats. I want to see them add, because there's a mod for this, which is fantastic, and that's the canoe mod, which I think would be a great upgrade between raft and sailboat. And yes, a Drakkar would be great. I want to see them add like a good multi-crew boat. Now this boat can hold like 10 people if you set it up that way. So you see how I've got storage chests here on the boat, Thracker? That can also be replaced with seats for people to sit in. And if you look up there, kind of in front of my character here, I'll go first person so you can see it a little bit better. You see how I've got a fence post up there? That's so that I can attach my elk, which is my mount, to the boat. And the elk will ride up there. And that takes up 2 of the slots in the boat. So, if you wanted to carry, like, people and elk and supplies, you could probably get, like, 2 people and their elks and 4 crates in the box. I mean, so, when I went originally to the village, which is kind of the last big story POI I went to navigate on the map, to know which direction I was going, since my elk has an elk medallion on it, I get this little green player icon, basically to mark me, to mark where my elk is on the map. Since the elk was facing the front of my boat, I would just have the map open and use that green marker as like, okay, that's the direction my boat's facing, while I'm looking around, you know, and the character icon is changing which direction it's looking on the map. It was very humorous to me. But, yeah. There's lots of fun things in this game. And I love the elk. The elk mount's a great mount. You don't actually have to buy them anymore. So, in the game, normally you buy them. As part of, like, the whole story quest. Like, one of the quest givers is like, oh, hey, you completed the first part of the story. Would you like to buy an elk? Oh, yeah. Yeah, one of my players was actually talking about that in our Discord earlier. And shared it. It was just like, hey, we should do this. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I'm not sure I'm going to add that mod, but it is hilarious. And have you read the mod description? The person's like... it's like replacing rusty gears with RAM because RAM sound more expensive than gold. It's hilarious. You know, some of the mod makers out there have an amazing sense of humor. Alright. Not in this playthrough, but potentially. I've had some players asking me about Combat Overhaul, and I've wanted to play with it. I just haven't. I've heard good things about it. I've never tested it out myself. Because I know it doesn't add, like, headshot mechanics and stuff like that. Because I know several of the YouTubers I watch use Combat Overhaul. They don't feel bad, Thracker. It took me a while to get confident at combat as well. Cool. It's interesting that it adds that, because the game clearly already has that kind of mechanics in place, like spears do piercing damage when you throw them. You know, so do the bows. Where, like, the sling that the Malefactor can make does blunt damage. Like, it's clearly listed in the thing. So it's interesting that they didn't already factor that in. Alright, here we go. This is what I needed. Cool. Alright, I need this, and yeah, this. Because I need to make these debarked logs. So I went that entire way and forgot that I needed to get my mine supports for this mission. There we go. Alright, onions. In fact, you don't look at my food storage. What's this in here? Oh yeah, that's my salt storage. Yeah, Thraku, can you read this? Can you read the description of this barrel? Oh yeah, I'm planning on for my big modded server, because eventually I'm going to do a big modded server for my community. It's we don't have a time frame on that. There's going to be expanded foods and culinary artillery, and we're also discussing adding the butchering mod as well. Specifically, Thrakier, that is 50 liters of brine and 50 parsnips, because in 14 days that'll be 50 pickled parsnips. Yep, I'm pickling parsnips in that one. I'm curing raw meat in this red meat in this one. I'm pickling carrots in that one, and turnips in this one. This is my barrel of cranberry wine. It's almost empty though. It's very sad. I'm almost out of cranberry wine. I only have 30 liters of blueberry wine left. And in this barrel back here, I only have 2.8 liters of honey. So, sort of. I have... Here, since I've just finished what I was doing here anyways, I'll show you. Oh, hello, Drifter. Come back here. Oh, that's Botorn. Yeah, I heard you over there. Where you at? Where you at, Botorn? Let me get my lamp out so I can actually see. Where'd you go? I heard you. There you are. Oh, there's two of you. Yeah, got you. Where's the other one? Out. Shot me point blank. You jerk. There you go. You know, they don't like melee. Like, Botorns are dangerous only because their ranged attack does a lot of damage, comparatively. But once you get into melee with them, they only do 1 damage with their melee attack. Yeah, and they snipe. They are very accurate at long range. Oh, there. Shiver. Come back here. You started it. Come here. Sit. Bad shiver. Weird. Spider dog. Well, anyways, what I was going to show you, I'll just throw it on the map. Over here, I have sheep, or bighorn sheep that I've captured. I just have yet to move them into my sheep pen right over here. I butchered that drifter. I did. Okay. Oh, no, I didn't. I thought I did. Okay, you didn't drop anything. Throw my extra seeds in here that I got. There we go. I mean, that's my life in this game. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Goes outside. Gets jumped by the local drifters and such. Throw this in here. This is my rot boxes where I put stuff to rot. So that's one of the uses for, like, funeral bells and stuff. Make rot. Oh, I forgot to put away the seed. Yeah, I'll throw the onion seed in there. Go. I've only got 4 servings of food. I still got, like, most of my servings of food. There we go. Go ahead and eat dinner real quick for my character. I'm going to grab a little bit more food here. What do I want? I have some poultry. There we go. We'll take that. And... oh, that's more poultry. Sweet. So with that all said, do I have any fruit? I do have some fruit. So let's grab 2 pieces of fruit. And we'll do 2 onions. There we go. Oh, in this I'm a commoner. On my multiplayer server, I'm a malefactor. But on this, I don't have the class-specific recipes turned on or anything. On the multiplayer server, I do. There we go. So, when I'm playing solo, I just play commoner without the class-specific stuff. Gonna make ourselves some poultry and pear and onion stew. Oh, you made a simple bow today? Nice. You can make flint arrowheads if you don't want to use copper for it. You lose a little bit of damage and they have a higher break chance, but you know, saves you some resources. Now, once you get to, if you ever do the story content, you'll probably want the, like, regular arrowheads. There we go. Why is it not letting me? Okay, I don't know. I guess that log didn't actually exist. There we go. All right. There we go. Back to the hunt for olivine. Yeah, no, once you get shears, six just becomes like spending a little bit of time with your shears and some trees. Like, you know, the shears are life-changing when it comes to getting sticks. Now, for your dry grass, you want a sickle or scythe. Like, scythe. Scythe. That's the word I'm looking for. Same with your cattails, because scythe will harvest your cattails for you, too. And you're going to want cattails if you're going to do beehives. Here we are, back at the boat. Alright, now back to our olivine mine, now that I have support beams. Yeah, it's one of the first tools I end up making a lot of times, is a scythe, just because it's so useful. You can't cast copper scythes, unfortunately. You can cast the hoes, but not the scythes. You can cast the falks. Yeah. So, yeah, you have to forge the scythe. And you can forge all the tools. Usually by the point that I'm starting to that I have one up and running, like anvil and all that, I kind of actually just stop casting tools unless I'm just in a hurry. I just cast ingots and then forge what I need. Then I'm also, unless I'm playing on my vanilla playthrough here, then I'm also usually running Smithing Plus, so it's actually more cost-effective for me to forge the tools, because Smithing Plus makes it so you get the voxels you snip off back when you're smithing as bits. Not all of them. It's like 3 to 1. So for every like 3 voxels you snip off, you get 1 bit of that material back. So, you know. And some people will be like, oh, well, that's min-maxing. I'm going to be honest. As someone who is a classically trained blacksmith in real life, blacksmiths absolutely recycle material, so I think it's completely fair. And it also lets you do things like repair your tools. So, like, when you break a tool... Yeah, exactly. Metal doesn't grow on trees. But, like, if you break a tool, you get, like, the broken head. And you can take that, put it in the anvil, and take, like, some of the brittle bits of the right type of metal after you heated the tool head back up, and use them to fix it. So, that's one of the things I like about Smithing Plus, is it's very realistic. But the cool thing is, it looks like they're experimenting with some of that for the actual base game itself. I don't know if people have been watching some of the dev posts and things that they've been teasing that they're working on. They've got a whole new forge design they're working on, complete with the bellows attached to it. And it looks like they're going to be adding in like tempering mechanics to temper your tools at the right temperatures to get the best quality tool out of them and stuff. So it looks like they might be adding in some of that stuff that like Smithing Plus and some of the other smithing mods add. They're also experimenting with rivers to add things like water wheels and stuff. So I'm very excited about this. I can't wait to see it. Now, obviously, we have no idea when that's going to come out, because development on a game like this is not an overnight process. It takes time. But I'm very excited about all of that. This is because this is a survival game that scratches a lot of the itches I have. Yeah, X-Seals does have something like that. And that's interesting. I can see where you get Dwarf Fortress vibes out of it, though, Thrakir. I can. Yeah, I've not played with that particular perk of the X skills tree though. I know it's on the blacksmithing tree. I am running X skills on my Snowball Earth playthrough. Yeah, I mean it makes sense. But then I'm not a pro at Dwarf Fortress, though I have played Dwarf Fortress. Yeah, it is definitely opaque to the beginner if you're not careful. Now, the one good thing is, though, I do like the fact that they include, like, the handbook, which has so much information in it. And the other thing I like is that most of the mod authors add the information for their mods to the handbook as well. So, yeah, like, without the handbook, this would be a nightmare. Look, an underwater temporal rift. There we go. That's what we all want to see. It does. It does make it a one-monitor game for the most part. Alright, how close am I? Okay, I just need to get around this last bit of land. What time is it in the game? Oh, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. Cool. So we'll get there just before morning and be able to get into our olivine mine. Because I need a lot of olivine. A lot of olivine. So, Thrakir, since you're kind of... I don't think you were here at the stream when I started talking about this. What I'm working on right now is I'm working on making a cementation furnace to make steel. So, and to do that, I need refractory bricks. And while I could make tier 1 refractory bricks, I'm going to make tier 2 refractory bricks because very early on in the series, I stumbled into the material you need for tier 2 refractory bricks while trying to find limestone to make leather. So even before I had leather, I found the materials to make, like, refractory bricks. It was kind of hilarious. Yeah, this cave here. I stumbled into olivine. But yeah, I'm stepping up into the big leagues. This is actually going to be my first time ever making steel in Vintage Story. It does mean I'm going to have to get a lot more iron. Because either I'm going to have to move my iron anvil or make another one. Because I'm going to use the helve hammer to refine the blister steel. Oh, well, maybe I'll do one by hand first, just to do it by hand. Yeah, exactly. I've heard that the difference in how long the tier 2 versus the tier 1 last is absolutely worth hunting down the tier 2 stuff. It just so happened that before I was even close to thinking about doing steel, I stumbled into olivine. I was actually walking around exploring an area and fell into a cave and landed on an olivine vein. Yeah, I've heard that about the tier 3, but it takes so much to do, because you need the titanium for that, which you need steel for anyways, right? Yeah, it was hilarious. Like I'd pulled off down here looking to see if I was gonna find limestone or chalk down here, and it was like, well, it's what is that? What's that green stone called? I don't remember the name of it. Why is there a rabbit out here in the middle of the ocean? Did anyone else just see that? Like, no, it's very strange, and confusing. Like, I'm just gonna pull in like right here into this little cave, into this little nook, right here. You know, if he'd get in the ship with me, I'd totally give him a lift. All right. Let's see here. Medium. That's like 3 a.m. It's fine. But yeah, I was like out here exploring just to see what I could find. And I'd gotten up here to this hill, like right up here. And I was poking around, and I'd found like some, yeah, I'd found the stone. I was looking at the granite and gonna take a sample or whatever. I was like, oh, okay, you know, interesting little cave up here, and just poking around, decided to go back down this way, because I can remember it very vividly, and I was just hopping around, and, like, I just misstepped, like, right over this, and fell into the cave, which I think is right over here, actually. One of these little nooks. I fell into the cave. Alright, where was it? Alright, now I can't find the cave, even though I've got it marked on my map. Yeah, it was right here. I just fell through this hole, right here. Yeah, here it is. This is the cave I fell into. I just fell like that little ledge right there into this paradite. And there was olivine just like right here. And I was like, what? Like, yeah, paradite, thank you. Yeah, that rabbit came across the sea for the best veg. But yeah, so this is where I found olivine. I still got some in here. So we're gonna do this here. We're gonna take some. Come on. Gonna go all the way across over to here. There we go. That should help stabilize that up a bit. But yeah, no, I just like stumbled into this cave. So, this is my life now. Mining olivine to make my tier 2 refractory bricks. Yeah, I don't think olivine shows up on the prospecting pick either. You know, I've never made plate mail in this game. I've got a full suit of chainmail. I know you need chainmail to make the plate mail. Yeah, I know. I heard it's really good for boss fights. Like, especially when you're fighting like the Eliodon or whatever it's called. There goes the first pick. Which that was a rough fight. I went underprepared for that fight, if I'm honest. Yeah, the giant robot. But I did find a cheese for that fight. I ended up cheesing it. I found a very, very narrow, like, 2 or 3 pixel gap that I could aim through with my recurve and bow and arrows and shoot it from outside the room after I'd aggroed it. At some point, I should probably do some, like, sculpting with some of this paradite and stuff. Yeah, Thracker, have you discovered chiseling yet? Yes. So for the rest of you in chat, Thracker is a friend of mine in real life who I've introduced to the game because I felt he needed to share my addiction to this game. And if you like Dwarf Fortress and stuff, Thracker, you're going to love micro chiseling. I can hear drifters somewhere. Oh, they're sneaking up on me, I think. Are they sneaking up on me? No, I think they're on a cave that's through that wall. One of the things to check when you're mining is watch the stability of the walls you're mining into. It's a good indication whether or not you're about to break into a cave sometimes. There we go. How are we doing? Alright. Put that up there. Oh. Hello, Drifter. Didn't remember asking you to come help me mine. I mean, kind of. I mean, I do have to watch out for cave-ins in this, which is why I brought mine supports. Because this one has cave-in turned on. In my multiplayer server, I turned off cave-ins just because, you know, I wanted to make life a little easier for my community. And maybe give them the opportunity to do things like build giant underground homes and stuff if they wanted to. Now, as you can tell, I don't have dirt instability turned on. Just checking to see if there's any olivine under the under this layer here. Sometimes these ore, I guess olivine's not really an ore. It's more like a gemstone, isn't it? Not really sure what the game considers it. But sometimes they can shift layers on you, go up and down a bit. There we go. Yeah, max instability mechanics makes the landscape so lively. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, I still have it turned on for, like, sand and gravel there. I Blue Pixel Gaming. Oh, okay. That's a neat name. Blue Pixel Gaming. And I'll be walking around sometimes in, like, some of the desert biomes and hear landslides caused by goats or drift, or even bowthorn. Just wandering around. Alright, let's get some more support going here. We're going to come over here. There we go. Yeah, that fixes that nicely there. It is like an early warning system, though. I mean, that's like the one good thing about it. Is you'll hear like the sound of like a bowthorn, and then you'll hear a landslide, or vice versa. I actually heard that a lot, so if y'all have been watching my stream, you'll see that I've got a tunnel going from, like, my boat dock back to, like, my housing area. I had got to hear that sound and that warning system a lot as I was mining that and getting harassed by bowthorn and drifters and stuff. Because I mined that tunnel right through the mountains there. I might have mined out most of the olivine here. Alright. Do a quick round. I think I might have gotten most of it. At least right here, anyways. Be back this way? Have I missed? I don't think it shows up on the node search, but we'll check. Nope, it does. Okay, my mistake. And just for Thrakir's information, since I know he's newer to the game than some of those watching, when it says, like, you see X amount with that node search, that means it's within, by default settings, 6 blocks of where you took that search from. And, you know, trace amount, or small amount, or medium amount is kind of giving you an idea of roughly how many blocks worth it picked up. Alright, so now if I do another one, so for example, still trace amount somewhere. Not seeing any this way. Let's go this way a little bit. There's some right there. There it is. Let's see here. We got, like 2.5. No, not quite a half stack, but, you know. Let's do another node search here. Still trace amount somewhere. Go this way a little bit. But it's nice to know that it will show up on the node search, because I didn't think it would. Let's go into here a little bit. Oh, there's some. Let's do another quick node search. Still trace events. Alright, Draker, you have a good one, man. There's some right there. Alright, let's see how that looks here. Still trace around somewhere. There's some right there. Alright, do one more node search. Oh, there's some somewhere. And right there. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. One more. Alright, that's all of it. There we go. That's all the olivine. It was right here on this level. Like, I mean, there's probably more down this cave, I bet. I bet if I went further down in. Let's go take a look. Or not. Do a quick little search down here. Yeah, nothing. quite a lot. Definitely enough to make... Yeah. Now, the main problem I've got is I need more iron. So I'm going to have to do some iron prospecting here in a bit. I'm just going to do a quick check. See if there's any more olivine around here. No. Okay. Well, this may be played out, but that's fine. That's still more than I should need. Alright, let's see here. What do I want to get rid of? Well, I don't need to get rid of anything now that I'm thinking about that. I can just go to my boat and stab a boat horn. Oh, you missed. Ah ha ha, you missed. Come here. Nope. 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 You started it. Come here. I actually don't care about the arrow. I'm just going to throw it out. There we go. Alright. Alright, let's see here. Go back here. There you go. We'll throw the patriotite in there, along with the granite. Beautiful. Come on, go in the chest. In the chest is what I want. There we go. Now I can get this off my hotbar. Or my extra mining supports in here, which I didn't need as many as I thought I did. Cool. Now we head back to the house and make some more refractory bricks. There we go. I should have done some prospecting while I was there. Let me do some prospecting real quick. Make sure there's not like a giant iron mine just sitting here and me just not knowing about it. Come into the hole, please. There we go. Ship. Ship. There you go. Cool. Alright, let's go do one quick prospect. I meant to do that last year anyways. Okay, nothing there. And do this one down here. Considerite and bismuth and silver. Okay. Interesting. Alright. Does mean nothing I need to, like, hang around here and look for. Okay. I'd love to, like, find a hematite vein, though. Now you can see where I was looking for salt over here. Yeah, so I used 30% oceans to generate this, and they did make some changes to how oceans generate in one of the recent updates. As far as tin goes, it doesn't actually spawn in very big veins. I think the most I found in one vein was something like 20 blocks of it with tin ore, roughly, give or take. And that's like a good sized vein. Now, granted, you don't need a ton of tin. If you want kind of like the most tin efficient ratio for your tin bronze, that's 92 copper nuggets to 8 tin nuggets will get you your most cost efficient tin-wise ratio for making tin bronze. Then you can just scale it up or down from there, depending on how many ingots and stuff you want to make at once. But yeah, they did do some changes to how ocean biomes work. They're Blue Pixel Gaming. For example, now they've got like coral reefs and stuff in the game. And I haven't done a whole lot of experimenting with exactly how the generation settings work yet. Because when I generated this one, they hadn't made the coral reef change yet. That also included some changes to the generation mechanics for the ocean. And at this one I generated, it was like, I think it was right after 1.2 released, or right before 1.2 released, when I generated this map. And I used 30% ocean biome, basically, to generate it. So I set it to 70% landmass. Now, since then, I've been experimenting with it some. Like, on my multiplayer server, I did the same ratio, and it still seems to generate okay for making oceans. We did have to go for a bit of a walk to find the oceans on our spawn landmass. So, there's definitely been some changes to it. I just kind of keep my eyes out on those exposed rock faces just to see if I see anything that catches my eye that might be worth stopping for. Even though I've sailed through here dozens of times. Storyline-wise, I'm getting ready to go to the Devastation. It does make it more difficult. That's why I never do more than 30%. Yeah, you can have sailed past dozens of hematite veins. You never know. But storyline-wise, yeah, I'm getting ready to go to the Devastation. A matter of fact, I'm mostly ready to go. I've got the weapons I want. I've got pretty much all the weapons I need. I've got the armor I need. I'm actually really just waiting for it to thaw at this point. Yeah, I did some underwater mining in this to try and get salt. I ended up actually finding salt completely somewhere else. Like, not even at the best salt or not even at my initial best salt reading I ever had. I didn't find salt there. Actually, since we're on the way back, I'm going to stop and grab some coal at my coal mine. Yeah, this is the first time I actually ever found salt, was in this playthrough. And I spent 3 streams looking for it. Kind of, not like this is the only thing I did in that stream, but like a good chunk of like 3 streams looking for the salt before I actually found it. Like, I was determined. I was going to have my salt. Mostly because I found a really good reading for it. And I was like, nope, I want my salt. Since I have the extra supports, I'm going to mine some of this brown coal. I kind of use brown coal as like my throwaway fuel. Yeah, go over to here. This one's the one I can't mine out, right? Nope. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and this will also be good, because you can use this to run your cementation furnace, by the way. Because it doesn't need to be like black coal or charcoal to run it. It needs to be charcoal in the box with your steel, though. The coffin or whatever they call it. Alright, let's see here. Oh yeah, we got some bad stability right there. So let's go there, over to, say, up here. Oh, right, 5. So from there, that's not where I wanted it. I wanted it back here. Thank you. To, like, this corner. There we go. Yeah, that's a lot better. That one's still... Hold on. Better? No, that one is not happy about that. Alright, whatever. Let's do this. Throw that into there. There we go. Yeah, but it was a whole thing to find salt. Go. Alright, let's see here. What can I do here? Can I go, like, that corner up? Why is that not, like, updating stability there? Is that better yet? No? Really? Okay, what if I do, like, this? Still no. Okay, whatever. That one's just not going to be stable. Alright, game. Fine. Keep your instability. Alright. Getting my brown coal to run my cementation furnace once I get back, because I should have all the stuff I need to make it. Well, I mean, I'll have to make some more bricks, but I should have all the stuff to make all the bricks I'll need to make it. Just do this real quick so I can get a way down here. There we go. Like, almost 2 stacks of coal. Everyone having a good night out there? Oh, okay. That didn't collapse. I was afraid that was going to collapse there for a second. Alright. You're chilling? That's good. And we're all just sitting here watching me mine. Which I appreciate. Anyway. It's not the most exciting thing in the game. There we go. It just does not want to stabilize here. So we'll just go all the way to this wall then. There we go. I like that one. That worked fine. I can hear a rooster somewhere. Nice. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm thinking about changing jobs here soon, too. Because... not just so I have more time to, like, game and stuff, but... kind of getting tired of my day job, if I'm honest. Go. Even more beams. There we go. That fix some of the stability? Yeah, that did. Alright, cool. Alright. I think this is played out. There we go. I mean, we can mine that one out and just watch it fall into the ocean. There we go. Alright, now let's go get this mining, or now that we're done mining, let's go get this cementation furnace going. Oh, I should actually feed my character real quick. There we go. Alright. Just remove that from the map. Nope, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this one. There we go. Delete. That brown coal deposit's gone. This has been a good little mining mission, and now let's see if we can't get the cementation furnace started. I think the trick, if I remember correctly, is you build like the grates first, and then it gives you the outline of where you have to put everything. Because I'm also going to need to make a new furnace door. And we have to make like a cementation, like an iron door, and then a whole bunch of stuff you have to make for this thing. Okay. Oh, the coffin gives the outline. Okay. Thank you for the heads up there, Blue Pixel. Now, do I have to put I know I have to put the coffin on some grating. Do I have to do that to get the outline, or can I just, like, put up some scaffolding, put the coffin down, and then that'll give me the outline? Okay, perfect. So in that case, what I'll do is I'll set up my temp blocks, get the coffin in place. Need to cut the part of the left there. There we go. Also, gonna need to make some. I think I'm gonna need to make some mortar for this, if I remember correctly, as well. There we go. Yes, actually I have. I still have some calcified flint for fire clay, and I actually store fire clay. I can always keep some around. I'd start doing that just for bloomeries. Okay, you two. Come here. You two gonna run? You're gonna stand and bite. It's one down. There we go. Yeah, I keep fire clay around. I have an elk. Matter of fact, that's how I made it to the village, is I just rode my elk. Because basically, I couldn't find a water route all the way to the village. Like, I sailed all around over here, all through all this, and ended up finally just parking my boat, like, right here. And then I rode my elk all the way across this, all the way across the water here. I used my elk like its own little boat, all the way to the village. That's how I got to the village. Yeah, and so that's actually something you can. Yeah. Yeah, my map is quite large there, Caliper. Um, yeah, I just didn't bother taking it with me on the boat because I wasn't going to be going too far from the boat. I actually have a bone flute back at the base, and my elk is here. If we can check the map, is right there on the map. When I go on long journeys, like when I go to the desolation, I will take the elk with me because I'll probably end up just riding it to the desolation or to the devastation again instead of trying to find an ocean crossing. Simply because every time I try to get too far west, I run out of ocean. The second run of the village being buried in the ground halfway. Yeah, that's the thing that can happen. So as I was going to say, you can actually adjust the spawn as far as like how far away stuff is and whatnot. Actually, what do I do? I need to go crush all this up. So let's see here. I got that. I'll take this up there. Here, that's my borax. Let me grab my clay. I'll make some more fire clay while I'm sitting here thinking about it. The cat is tripping at me. Like, there's my calcified flint that I've just been sitting on, for example. So, there you go. There's fire clay. Like, boom. Alright, so let's go get this stuff crushing. Real quick. Oh yeah, so the trick I've heard is instead of setting it to, say, like, super close, you set it to, like, 50% or, like, something like that. Because it basically will tell you, like, how far away from, like, spawn it will be. Because on average, it's a radius of, like, 10,000 blocks from spawn for the archives. The Nadia is like 20,000 blocks, and then the devastation, sorry, is like 25 to 30,000 blocks by default, without any adjustment to the spawn location radius for the story missions. Which is why some people adjust it down to around 50% to make it more reasonable to do. I didn't know that when I generated the board. I kind of love the pulverizer. In hindsight, I should have set up my pulverizer slightly differently, so I could have set up a hopper system to auto-feed it stuff and to pull stuff from it. But it's a much more agreeable sound than the Hellhammer. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my Hellhammer, but it can be noisy. Matter of fact, I feel like I should go turn it down. I mean, it's not too bad, but yeah, it's a bit tedious. Like, again, hindsight, I should have set this up with a hopper system. And if I wasn't lazy, I could also readjust it and do that. Alright, we're just going to finish this little stack of olivine here. And then we'll move on to the quartz, because I think that's the other thing I'm running low on. And bauxite. I'm running low on both, but I mean, like, I have tons of quartz and bauxite at base, I just haven't crushed it. Yep, my wind power's dying on me. Yeah. I'm aware of doing the whole, like, alt thing to move your mouse around. I just don't do it for some reason. Yeah, so for the quern, what I use is I hold shift, I hold right click, and then I press escape and let go of right click and press escape again to close the menu and just let my character work the quern. That's how I do the quern. So if you want my advice on how to automate your quern without a mill. Take moving 9 additional items using alt while crafting. Yeah, yes. Actually, I should check something real quick. Hold on, not conglomerate. I need granite, because I'm going to make a granite coffin, I think. Or andesite, because I am actually living on andesite. It's your coffin. Coffin. Nope. Back. Coffin? Nope. I need... coffin lid? Nope. Okay. So let's use it this way. Granite. Quern. Section. Okay, so I do need the actual stones. Okay, that's what I needed to do. Oh, so you need borax for that. Good thing I've saved some. Okay. In that case, what I'm going to do real quick... This is where I'm going to put my cementation furnace. I might have to dig it out some, but that's not a problem. Let's take a second. Grab my refractory bricks real quick. There we go. Alright, let's put some of the crushed olivine in there. And actually, what I'll go ahead and do, split this in half. And do that. And do this and grab this and make some more bricks to save myself some space in the chest. There we go. Throw that back in there. Cool. Throw that in there. Oh, no, well, didn't save enough space, but okay. All right, it's fine. Okay, there we go. Let's go grab the stuff to make that. I left my lantern upstairs. Let's go grab the stones I need real quick. Give me a lantern. All right. It's so far away to walk to the place where I can quarry out stone. It's so far away. So I'm going to need 2 sections, which is 3 stone each. So that's going to be 6, and then 2 each for the lid. So 8. Just 8 stone blocks. Okay, I can do that. That's easy enough. Nope. My quarry is a little infested. There you go. All right. Let's just try to go. Alright, well. Just gonna drop some rocks on myself, don't mind me. Alright, let's do this the smarter way this time. Am I the only one that it sounds like the goat's in this cave with me? I think it's on the other side of this wall somewhere. It's 3? There's 4. And there's 5. Okay. Let's see here. Let's do this one. This one. Yep. There we go. This is kind of where I wish I had the quarry mod. It lets you query out stone much more easily. Alright, that should technically be all I need. But I'm going to do a couple more just to be sure. Alright, there we go. Alright. That's enough stone. Cool. Alright. I know that goes just up that hill somewhere. I really do love the skybox of this game. I know I say that in like every stream. That elk is super loud though. Let's come over here. Pick away. Prospecting pick away. Grab hammer. Grab chisel. And then I think it was hammer and chisel. There we go. Yep. 1 and 2. And then I need the borax, right? Where's my borax? There it is. 2. 2. And 2. There we go. Alright. So we did everything right. That should be all the parts needed to make the coffin. Alright, also need to feed the character. There we go. Let's see here. We'll use this, not the sand. Somewhere around here I've got some, it's like throwaway bits I can use to like put this thing in the right format. Gravel, gravel, so much gravel. God, how much gravel I have. Bony soil I need to do something with. Creating your own naughty village and filling it with the glitched sell NPCs. There's currently a glitch where NPCs in the village sell traders. Oh. I might have to investigate that. That's kind of humorous. So we're gonna just throw our lantern right here. Alright, so I want my cementation furnace to be like right in here. So I'm gonna say I want the coffin like right here. And do, there we go. Hide structure preview. Shift click. Okay, there we go. Alright, so these blocks are incorrect. Alright. So I'm going to need to get rid of this. And actually, I think what I will do is do that, because I'm going to raise it up a little bit more, I think. We'll go up a little bit more. There we go. Found a mod that could actually make it happen. Yeah, like there's a mod out there that makes it so you can like summon traders too. Alright, there we go. So there's a structure preview. I'm falling off. Okay. That's where the iron door goes, right? Right there. Okay. Cool. Yeah, the mod I found was, good lord, hold on, let me check. Let's see here. It was... Let's see here. What was it? Something. Let's see here. Not better traders. No. That's guards and villagers. NDL. Let's see here. I think it was like NDL traders, I think is what I'm looking at. Let me double check. Or something. Hold on. Let's see here. It might just be NDL villagers. Let me check. Wandering villagers. Yeah, it's NDL villagers. Let's use spawn traders. There you go. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so but NDL traders basically lets you spawn whatever traders you want by building the right item for them. All right. Let's see here now. I need to come into here and see how I need to make these refractory bricks and grates. So I do need mortar. Okay. Two stone coffin lids. Yep. I need 6 gratings. Yep. Solid or windowed iron door. Okay. Three by 2 grating. Cool. Yep. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to finish it tonight because I also need to be getting to bed myself because it's almost 11 p.m. It's 2 minutes from 11 p.m. where I'm at, and I do unfortunately have a day job which I have to go to. Alright, so let me go back, and what do I need for mortar? I just need slacked lime and sand. Okay. Well, so I still got things I need to do, so I think I'll call it there, folks. I want to thank everybody for joining me and hanging out. Next episode, we will continue work on the cementation furnace, because I need to make mortar and probably some more bricks. But thank you all so much, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, and sleep well for those who are going to bed. And we'll catch you next time.